All right, lads. I'll give you Blackbeard's honest opinion. You ask me, can this new captain promise you a life of prizes, plunder, and adventure? Aye. For amongst all the gentlemen of fortune sailing these West Indies, he ranks amongst the most clever. There was a time when I thought myself the deadliest scourge of these seas. But this man is a fearsome dog that feeds off trouble and turmoil. I seen him clear the deck of a Spanish galleon like it were nothing. Fighting like a devil, dressed as a man. And he's a canny one. Knows his way round every crag and crevice of these islands. So if it's fortune and adventure you seek, then Captain Edward Kenway's your man. Only, don't meddle in his private affairs. For there's more mystery to that man than even I dare ask.
Hello and welcome to Assassin's Creed Black Flag, to continue Phase 5, celebrating the game's 10th anniversary, with a showcase playthrough. We're still very early in the story. The progress through the story will not be quick. Taking my time, observing NPC behaviors, examining the environments, taking all that kind of stuff in, reading database entries, and all that kind of stuff. So I had Edward wearing this outfit for the last stream, and I don't have all the outfits that you can get in the game, but I would like to actually see. Now I won't be able to change his outfit as yet because I haven't done the part in the story where we actually unlock more. Except for Edward the Legend. But can't actually equip it yet, I don't think. But there'll be plenty of time in the playthrough to have Edward wearing all the different outfits that I have available to me, or that can be crafted. Hi Sheila, welcome on in. I'm doing really good, thank you. How about you? That's awesome. Yeah, I started the stream late today. As in my time, not late as in I was running late or anything like that. Yeah, so I can't change outfits yet until we do the part in the story with the with the ship. But not to worry. Sheila, it's good. It's your first day off in like 3 weeks, so you're really good today. All you do is laying on the couch for the rest of the day. That sounds like a great plan. That'd be a relief to have a day off, especially since it's been 3 weeks since you were able to last time. Thanks so much for choosing to spend some of that day off checking out the stream. I really appreciate it. Won't be doing much story, but here we go. Cathedral. I'm going through and reading the database entry for environments and stuff like that. I need to load up my document that I've got to keep track of all this stuff. So I know which ones I've already read and which ones I haven't. People. Drunkards. Haven't read about drunkards. Drunkards. Sailors flush with rum in the heat of the sun. These drunkards can be useful in a few ways. First, as blend groups that allow Edward to hide in plain sight, and secondly, as allies in the event of a scuffle. But remember to bring a bit of coin if you want them to fight alongside you, as these pirates won't risk their lives for free. I'm not reading the present day stuff. Okay, so that's the drunkards covered. Landmarks in Havana. Okay, so landmarks that's separate to locations. Landmarks, Havana, and Cathedral of Havana. Sheila, so we are still roaming around in Havana before getting the jackdaw. Yeah, so for this playthrough, it's going to be very focused on examining a lot of stuff in the game world. So that's some details about what I'll be doing. So the pace of this playthrough will definitely be a bit slower, especially with the story progression as well. Cathedral of Havana. Construction of the Cathedral de la Virgen Maria de la Concepción Immaculada de la Habana was started in 1748 and finished in 1777. A mesmerizing example of Baroque aesthetics, the building's obvious symmetry and curious construction material, coral taken from the ocean nearby, make this one of the most unique houses of worship in the world, and one of the most iconic landmarks in the West Indies. Sheila, okay, sounds good. Yeah, there's also another phase that I'd like to fit in before the year ends after this one, which has another different kind of focus for the playthrough as well. And that's the one that I'm going to include all the present day stuff in. But not just present day stuff, other stuff as well. Harbinger, Black Flag, why not AEW2? Isn't it Friday today? Well, for me, it's Saturday, and it's been Saturday for quite a long time now. I go by my days in Australia. Hello to you as well. Oh, is it a national holiday for you? Cool.
No sé ni lo que me golpeó, pero me levanté y seguí caminando.
En un pequeño pueblo de Extremadura.
Ah, ¿te cansaste de cuidar cerdos?
Sí. Había gritos y sangre por doquier. A punto estuve de desmayarme.
It's funny their actions here. Like, what are they talking about? I wonder.
Ah, ¿sí? ¿Seguro? Oh, cuenta más. ¿En serio?
Harbinger, for some reason you thought it was Friday
¿De
today.
verdad? Cuenta más.
Hey Anasune, welcome on in. Speaking of Alan Wake 2, have you started it? Sure have, yeah. I did a 9.5-hour stream of it.
¿De verdad?
And I'm really, really loving it.
Cuenta más.
It's definitely been worth the wait. Thanks for redeeming that Red Dead Redemption 2 character quote, Harbinger. It's been a while since you last redeemed that. Let's go to IMDb and bring up quotes. This will only be a short stream, so I think I might just do an hour or maybe an hour and a half. Mrs. Older, will you excuse us? When are you going to let me come rubbing with you, Dutch? My lord, a few more like her, we could take over the world. A few more like her, there wouldn't be much of a world left. So that's between Dutch, Sadie, and Arthur. Harbinger, again, my mistake. You just read the black flag message in the stream prep. Oh yeah, that's no worries at all.
¿En serio? No. ¿De verdad? Cuenta más. ¿En serio? ¿De verdad? Cuenta más. Cuenta más.
El serio. I think that's, are you serious? Or serious or something.
Ah, ¿sí? ¿Seguro? Oh, cuenta más. Había gritos y sangre por doquier. A punto estuve de desmayarme. Ah, ¿sí? ¿Seguro?
Guarde sus armas o acabará en el
Cuenta más.
calabozo.
Si sigue así, le quitarán todas sus armas.
Armado de ese modo, acabará con...
Contenga su exuberancia, señor. Las patrullas le quitarán eso. ¿En serio? Será un extranjero si tiene eso por aquí.
That water looks pretty cool.
Y también sus tíos.
This dude doing some painting, it seems. Well, not painting. That dude's painting.
¡Qué disparate! Crepitibus praevolabit bis. Domine, ut nos non comederent de virginibus, vestalibus ut moreretur virga pergu maxime cornu plene, et tunc intergo, si juvenis desiderium solatium intebetus fratribus meis locum venire non dubitabit, et consolabuntur vos libentissime, praesertim noctu. Amen. ¿Qué puedo hacer por ti? Norvicit puertu ocemin anorum cirticira italis, ludo et consolationem. Quod vere faceret me feliciorem ludetem cum me omnibus. Multa pecora tam brevi tempore. Si possem marietem omnes reputarem, beate che vivendi dulce patiundur inferni. Nam infernum non es obvium. Barbulum hoc sucula vid ad mercatum, et tunegiti hic supalpo mulierum ubera tres, cae praedia eina quis calitis.
It's interesting with these games because not stopping and looking at what every NPC is doing. And for this playthrough, I'm not going to look at every single NPC as in, oh, here's an NPC who's painting. I need to make sure that I stop and look at every single NPC who's painting. I'm not doing it to that extent, but stopping and actually looking at what the NPCs are doing and realizing things that they do which I wouldn't normally realize, because normally I'm not worried about focusing on them.
Otra vez el cocinero vestido con sus piñatos
You gotta love when some NPCs talk gibberish. It's like in a movie where extras are told to just look like they're having a conversation. And I think they just tell them, don't worry about even saying anything, just mouth the movements. But if the direction given is to actually just say something and have conversation, then people will have to come up with something. And sometimes it's just gibberish, where it's like, okay, you're a background person, you're talking to someone, just say whatever, say gibberish, and then you just go, that kind of thing.
Ieran infeliciter, non praesens forum ium diem. Eius choreaman asiam, cum energit ab laco facit, e ad movere vente rotunda. Tunigiut crepitibus, praevolabit bis. Domine, ut nos non comederet de virginibus, vestalibus ut moreretur, virga pergu maxime cornus plene, Juvenis desiderium solatium intebetus fratribus meis locum venire non dubitabit, et consolabuntur vos
Aquí no hay nada para ti, amigo. Obedece o muere. No destaco por mi paciencia. ¿Estás sordo? ¡Lárgate! ¡A jugar a otro sitio! ¡Tú, date por aludido! ¡No destaco por mi paciencia! ¿Estás sordo? ¡Lárgate! ¡Tú, date por aludido!
¡Ya! ¿Tienes algún problema?
¡Ay!
¿Y esto qué significa?
¡Qué tipo tan extraño!
¿Estás sordo? Tú, date por aludido.
¡Renuncia a tu actitud, demonio!
¡Acabaré contigo,
Será un
perro!
extranjero si llega.
¡Tiro de mi parte al del tridente!
¿Qué está
¿Dónde?
¡Puedo disparar!
y haber provocado semejante acto? Si fuera él, mantendría las cosas que
¡Juntos podremos con él! ¡No te escaparás tan fácilmente, maldito!
Shit, that's Kenway! The pirate run! Edward, it's pirate! Run now if you value your life! No! It's him! He's a killer!
Casi me mareo al mirarlo.
Es un ejemplar en buena forma física.
¡Puedo darle!
¡Desde aquí puedo darle eso!
¡Dales una buena pinta!
¡Desde aquí puedo darle!
¡Lo tengo a tiro! ¡No nos engañarás con eso!
¡Quieto!
¡Ahí! ¡A por él!
Harbinger, but still your Alan Wake and Alan Wake 2 playthroughs got you thinking. If you had a better PC, you would have bought both. Don't want just the first game. Yeah.
¿Puedo disparar?
Well, that's the thing too. I don't know what they're going to do with Alan Wake 2 for PC players who don't have the minimum requirements, which are really high apparently. But he called you a killer. I had to justify that.
Se ha dado un golpe en la
Yeah.
cabeza.
La artillería no daba cuartel y los franceses estaban decididos
familia semejante la trocina.
Se habrá dado.
¿Ha perdido? Mi padre insiste en que nos traslademos a Córdoba con él mientras dure la hospital. Pero nosotros somos gente recia. No les daremos ese gusto.
Íbamos a largarnos la semana pasada, pero la autoridad está mareando al capitán. Nada que hacer, pero el viejo está seguro de que es un timo.
Hey there, Roz Jim. Good evening to you as well. Just started Edward IC. Yeah, started this playthrough last week, and this is just going to be a short stream. But the next stream of this will be next Saturday, and it'll be a longer stream. But in this stream, what I'm covering, well, this playthrough actually, is I'm covering NPC animations, what they're doing, what they're saying, conversations, how they react to certain things, also the environments, looking at those, looking at different kinds of buildings, reading the database entries about places, people and things, and all that kind of stuff. So currently just in Havana at the moment.
Otra de sus justas leyes. Eximirá del pago adicional a los que sean padres.
Facilitará la vida de muchas familias de colonos. La nueva iglesia supone una gran diferencia en nuestras vidas.
Que Dios bendiga al gobernador Torres. Seguro que lo acaban santificando.
La corriente lleva hacia el norte al rodear la isla, pero puede ahorrarte un día si miras a Barlovento.
Gracias, amigo. Me vendrá bien saberlo.
Jim, what do you think of Mirage? I thought it was good, but needed more work before release. So I thought it was good.
Es una normalidad médica muy sorprendente.
They're still held back by the Valhalla engine. Given how the game was in terms of like story and stuff, and the team's desire to make the parkour better. I wish they were able to actually do Mirage on a completely new game engine
Gracias,
from the
amigo.
ground up.
Me vendrá bien saberlo.
Modders have already improved the parkour beyond what officially was happened, which just goes to show that the reason Ubisoft do not want to advance things further is simply because they refuse to. They don't want to. They don't want their Assassin's Creed games to have more versatility in the parkour. So modders have been able to make the side ejects and the back ejects happen from a greater height and a greater distance and all that kind of stuff. And I wouldn't be surprised if modders could make the characters jump manually like they used to be able to do, which gives you all sorts of advantages in the parkour. So they just don't want to spend the money it takes to get things working to the way that they can, because people are like, oh, you know, the Valhalla game engine, you know, you got to cut them some slack because, you know, it's the game engine that's the problem, you know, and all that kind of stuff. And don't get me wrong, Ubisoft Bordeaux did what they could with what they were given and what they were told that they could do, but when modders can improve your game, then you've already lost as a company when it comes to doing stuff yourself. But yeah, I did like Mirage, so it's not a game that I hate or anything like that. It's just that I don't feel it was as much of a return to roots as they had said it would be. And so if you're going to say something's returning to the roots, don't say it unless you're going to be able to deliver on it as well. Hey there, Brutus. How's things? You agree, OzJim? Yeah. I don't know, it's just ever since Origins they've decided to make the parkour restrictive to the player, which goes against the idea of parkour. And it's like, some people might be like, who cares about the parkour? And it's like, well, the thing about Assassin's Creed that actually made it unique to everything else was the fact that you could scale buildings, and not just ladders or things like that. You could literally look at this wall and go, let's climb up this. Usually in games, you would only be able to jump up and grab something if the character was actually low enough from where they were actually jumping from to grab it. So for example, you would only be able to jump up on the spot and grab to this and not scale it in any other game series. And then you've got the actual fluidity and how fast you can go through and all that kind of stuff as well. But it's part of what made the series what it is. So to take those things away to please the people who didn't like what was already there is already the wrong thing to do. Like if I'm doing a first-person shooter game, for example, and there's people who don't like first-person shooter games, and they play the game, and they say, this game sucks, I hate first-person shooter games, and then the company goes, oh, we better not make it a first-person shooter game, and even though 15 games in the series have been, just to please the people that don't like first-person shooter games. You know, as a company, you need to be like, okay, you don't like first-person shooter games, go and play a first-person... Don't play first-person shooter games then, if you don't like them. You know? You don't go into a food store and buy the food you know that you don't like and complain that you don't like the food because of what food it is, and then expect the company to not sell that at all. You know, if I was the owner of a business, I'd be like, well, there's plenty of other places where you can get the food that you actually do want to eat. This idea that you have to please everyone just results in pleasing no one. Or pissing off the people who have been supporting you for years just for the sake of trying to appease people who don't actually like the elements of the series that made the series what it is, you know. So that's what Assassin's Creed has been struck with. Ubisoft has listened to too many people saying we don't like this, we don't like that, so get rid of it completely. When those are things that have been in the game series since day one and actually make it what it is. And without those elements, it's not Assassin's Creed anymore. It starts to become a different franchise as well. And early on, if you've done one game as one type of genre and then you decide for the second game to do a different type of genre, that's different. But if you've done so many games in the series of the same genre, you don't just start to not do that anymore. Like, there's nothing wrong with adding new stuff, but you don't have to add new stuff that means taking away stuff that actually works as well. You're going good, Brutus? That's excellent to hear. Glad to hear that. As for me, I'm doing well. Things are going good. Oh, Jim, you're isolating half of your audience. Exactly. You know, and that's not the way to do it. Like, if I'm a business and I'm selling ice cream, and I'm selling vanilla, strawberry, and chocolate flavored ice cream, and someone comes along and says, I don't like vanilla flavored ice cream, I want you to stop selling it, I'd be like, look, there's people who do like vanilla ice cream, so I'm going to keep on selling it because I know that those people will want it. But if you don't like vanilla ice cream, and you like chocolate or strawberry, then you can, by all means, buy chocolate or strawberry. I'm not going to stop selling vanilla just because you don't like that flavor. You know what I mean? So, it should be the same with games. Oh, you don't like first-person shooters? Well, tough. That's what this franchise is, you know. Or insert whatever genre, you know, like whether if it's like a real-time strategy game, and someone says, I don't like real-time strategy games. Change the games in the series so that they're not that anymore. The company shouldn't go, okay. The company should be like, sorry to hear that you don't like real-time strategy games, but that's what our franchise is, so, you know, we're going to stay being a real-time strategy franchise. Sheila, Assassin's Creed isn't an RPG. They should get rid of that stuff in the series. That's it. You know, they've tried it and they've done it, and sure, they've been successful, but not every single game in the series needs to be an RPG. And the series has had RPG elements in it since before Origins, but not enough to make it actually become an RPG. You know what I mean? It's like if a game that never uses stealth decides, hey, for this one game, how about we add a stealth section? You know, people who don't like stealth obviously won't like that part of the game. But people who do like stealth will enjoy it. But that doesn't make it a stealth game, just because there might be one level with stealth required. You know what I mean? So, I think Assassin's Creed shouldn't be an actual RPG anymore. Still have elements like, you know, buying weapon upgrades and things like that. But it doesn't have to be a 500-hour open-world game. If players want to play a 500-hour open-world game, there's other franchises that do that, you know. But it's too late now, though, because Ubisoft has already tasted the success that their RPG games bring, and so they're not going to get rid of that. Hey there, Maxi. I'm doing really well, thank you, dude. How about yourself? Jim, well, Call of Duty was one of your favorite games until Call of Duty 4 and never played Call of Duty again. And that's fair enough, too, as well. You know, there's only so much that you can expect fans to actually accept before they jump ship. You doing great, Maxi? Excellent. That's good to hear, dude. You got the Platinum for Spider-Man 2. What an awesome game. Hell yeah, man. GG's on getting the Platinum for Spider-Man 2. I'm glad that you enjoyed it as well. That's excellent. We have another entry for... Oh, we have a few. Cool. Okay, so I've been keeping track of these, so I know which ones I've already actually looked at. So this one is, and I'll make a note. Black Flag's going well, Maxi. Going around and examining NPCs, seeing what animations they're doing, listening to any dialogue that they've got, looking at the environments, reading the database entries about locations and stuff. Also interacting with NPCs, different ways to get their reactions, and all that kind of stuff. So it's going really well. Basilica Menor de San Francisco de Asís. A dominating presence on Havana's Plaza de San Francisco, the Basilica Menor de San Francisco de Asís dates from 1580s. Originally a statue of St. Francis of Assisi stood atop the bell tower, but this was blown off in a cyclone in 1846. Baroque features were added to the basilica in 1730. I'm not reading the modern day characters. Abstergo comments on the database entries. Castillo San Salvador de la Punta. Part of a system of fortifications built to protect Havana Bay from incursions by French corsairs, the fortress was begun in 1590 and took decades to complete. The fortress is close enough to the nearby Castillo Morro to permit a heavy iron chain to be extended between them that could be tightened to block incursions by enemy ships. And we also have ramparts. The fortified walls of a castle or walled city, ramparts are generally built of stone several feet thick and are often topped by a defensive crenellation, a sawtooth battlement providing openings from which to fire.
¿Qué te pasó?
With Horror Month almost over, it means that the stream days for Assassin's Creed streams and Tomb Raider streams next week, that is, will go back to what they were. So today's stream for me is Saturday of Assassin's Creed, and Sunday's stream for me is Tomb Raider: The Angel of Darkness, and then Monday we'll be back to Alan Wake 2. Tuesday will be Alan Wake 2. Not sure about Wednesday or Thursday yet, next week, but next Friday will be another Tomb Raider stream, and Tomb Raider streams will return to Fridays, and then next weekend, Saturday and Sunday, will be Assassin's Creed, Black Flag. So after October is finished, Tomb Raider will be going back to Fridays, and Assassin's Creed will be going back to being Saturdays and Sundays.
Hasta puedo contarte cuentos para dormir gratis.
Oh, Jim, am I going to find all the map chests? No. I've already done that in another phase. That was in my Pirate Focus one, which I think was phase 3. In this phase, I'll also be doing Freedom Cry, and I'll also be doing Freedom Cry in the final phase, phase 6 as well.
¡Maravillas del mundo! ¡Precios inmejorables! Tengo todo lo que puedan necesitar para todas sus tareas cotidianas. Incluye una garantía de una semana para que queden satisfechos.
Estos perros extranjeros no aguantan.
Edward can do that too.
Maravillas del mundo, precios inmejorables.
Ozjim, pet him. I was going to, but since you told me to, I won't do it now.
¿Para qué esperar? Artículos como estos solo se ven una vez.
Backseating.
Fuera para la realeza.
Plus, it's also annoying to be told to do something that I actually planned to do as well. I was just wanted to wait until the bird had actually done more actions.
Fue la era Colina Galileo.
No, parece que fue un francés. No mencionó su nombre.
Qué raro. Le suele gustar la publicidad.
Vendo tesoros inimaginables a unos precios de risa. Tengo todo lo que puedan necesitar para todas sus tareas cotidianas.
Tienen buena pinta. Pero no traigo mucho dinero. No. Tienen buena pinta. Pero no traigo mucho dinero. No. Quizá estos. No.
Maravillas del mundo, precios inmejorables. Incluye una garantía de una semana para que queden satisfechos.
¿Qué precios?
Vendo tesoros inimaginables a unos precios de risa. Maravillas del mundo, precios inmejorables.
Tienen buena pinta.
Incluye una garantía de una semana para que queden satisfechos.
This dude just helping himself.
Vengan todos,
The
hoy me
food.
siento especialmente generoso. Vendo tesoros
Oh, so you've never
inimaginables a
seen
unos
that bird
precios de
before?
risa.
Yeah, there's a couple that I saw, but that was the first one that had
¿Para
a
qué
ability to
esperar?
pet, I think.
Artículos como estos solo se ven una
Thank you for the
vez.
follow, Flamengo.
¿Qué precios? Tienen buena pinta.
Está mal de la cabeza si cree que alguien pagará esto.
No dejen pasar la oportunidad de comprar una de estas bellezas.
Dios, ni que fuera para la realeza. No pienso pagar esto.
Incluye una garantía de una semana para que queden
¿26?
satisfechos.
El dueño estará mal de la cabeza.
Indeed, Afro fruits.
Demonios. Ni que fuera para la realeza. No pienso pagar esto. Está mal de la cabeza.
That's right, Afro. Instant crowd blending. Not allowed to do that anymore, though. Maybe too many people complained that you could do it. Ubisoft seemed to like listening to the wrong complaints. Good old days.
Oye, te hemos echado de menos. Creía que habías desertado.
Calidad no es.
No, estuve en la enfermería del cuartel, sudando como un pollo.
Por la maldita fiebre.
franceses estaban decididos a no rendirse. Esa victoria fue un...
Mataron a 5. ¿Cómo? ¿A esa distancia?
Bueno, es mejor que estar en el mar con la única compañía de Jack el Feo boxeando contra el jesuita. Para mí, tierra firme.
No respetan a los soldados.
Pero unas botas estarían bien. Comparto el sentimiento. A juzgar por su protección y comodidad, las mías bien podrían ser de papel.
Me lo dio una Benaki pensando que yo me llevaba la mejor parte del trato. La verdad es que tenía razón. Pero me lo había ganado.
Ah, tenía...
Vaya, muy bien. Mi padre es el que pilló a Jack Shepard.
And Fred, why couldn't we have a parrot on the jackdaw? That would have been really cool. Especially to have one there and, you know, open up the cage and let it be on your shoulder and stuff.
Mataron a 5. ¿Cómo? ¿A esa distancia? Me lo dio una Benaki pensando que yo me llevaba la mejor parte del trato. La verdad, ¿a dónde nos mandarán luego? ¿A la India? Ya estoy cansado de
Seguro que está borracho.
Vaya, muy bien. Mi padre es el que pilló a Jack Shepard hace un montón de años. La quinta vez, pero escapó de Newgate.
Harbinger, don't know if you read about it, but Skull and Bones got delayed again. Oh no, it got delayed again? Oh my god. This must be an alternate universe, because Skull and Bones, I could have sworn, was supposed to come out in 2014. Delayed again, huh? Look, they may as well just release it as is at this point. Take the fucking L. Like, seriously. Just take the fucking L. At worst, it'll be, you know, less than projected profits. At best, it'll be better than that Kong game that just came out. Man, that's just... I don't know. Like, I do not understand the difficulty in doing an open world pirate game. I just do not at all. Like, a story-driven pirate game about you playing as someone who starts from the bottom, and through the story you rise through the ranks to become the captain. And set up a villain, you know, that you have to ultimately face off against. Have things that can be explored. Locations that are supposedly haunted. Some actually might be. Others have treasure that's been guarded by people who have made the stories up about the ghosts, you know. Have side missions that you can come across. You might overhear that someone's in trouble, so you go and rescue them. You might be sailing along and then you see that someone's stranded on an island. You stop and you help them, and they might be able to become part of your crew and give you a skill that you can make use of that you wouldn't have had otherwise ever unless you'd come across that character, you know. Like, how hard is it to do this shit? Epic battles on the open water, open seas. Actually have the player be able to control various people on the ship during the boarding process. Do you want to be the pirate that just jumps to the ship when all the chaos is happening? So be it. You want to switch to the pirate who has to actually throw the hooks and the rope to the other ship, and you actually have to throw the hook and the rope? So be it. You know, like, have every single position on the crew be something that you can switch to in real time whenever you want during anything. You know, do you want to be the crew member who has to climb up the sails to, you know, do whatever? You know, let the player switch to that. Like, simple. Like, how hard is it? And they had this game, Black Flag, as a template. All they had to do was strip it of everything related to assassins and everything like that, like change all the character models into completely different, you know, people, obviously, but for all intents and purposes, have it be something that you can run around and explore and meet characters and all that kind of stuff. But they could have done that in this game engine easily. Like, we could have had Skull and Bones out in 2016. It would have been a perfect time because that's when we didn't get a new Assassin's Creed game. We got some new Assassin's Creed stuff. Like, we got the Ezio Collection remaster. We got the movie. But in terms of like a brand new game from Ubisoft, we could have gotten the pirate game then. Like, there was no real excuse for them not to be able to deliver a pirate game using this game engine. Afro could just remark on the battles and plunder. Yeah. Well, that's true as well. Be like, this is shit. This is shit. Need more gold. Gold. You're a piece of shit. Get more gold. If you brought back not much gold. And if you did, the bird's like, we're rich. Rich bastards. We're rich. Oh, Jimmy, wonder how long after the end of Mirage that Basim meets Sigurd. That's a good point too. Because we don't know how much time has passed since when Basim comes out of where he comes out of and the end scene that we see before it cuts to credits. So there's definitely a potential for a sequel. And I hope that if they do it in the new game engine. That apparently, or you would hope, is a game engine that they're actually going to do, like a brand new one. Okay, so let's actually hire these ladies and go around and get the reactions from different NPCs.
Adelante.
I mean, we'll obviously get reactions from guards, but I was just wondering if everyday civilians just react to Edward when he's with the blended group of the ladies, but this will be good too, because I want to show the different ways that NPCs can be interacted with and can interact.
Muy bien, por ti, lo que sea. Soy toda una encantadora de serpientes.
Pero unas botas estarían bien. Comparto el sentimiento. A juzgar por su protección y comodidad, ¿quién podría ser de papel? Hay mucho temporal, tanto en el mar.
Let's see how they react to this.
Ha llegado tu hora.
Te ayudaré a distraerte un poco. No puedes resistir. No irás a dejarme.
I've played the first one, Maxi. Earlier this year I did a playthrough of it. That's back when I was still able to stream via the Xbox, before those audio issues where there'd be like constant, what's the word? Stuttering, that's it. Constant stuttering. And it meant that to do Mass Effect 2 and 3, I had to wait until I could get the trilogy on PlayStation. And I was able to get it for $20 recently. So that's a good bargain. So I will get to 2 and 3. I've actually contemplated doing a playthrough of Mass Effect 1 again, but off stream. And try to emulate the same kind of playthrough I did the first time. so that when I do Mass Effect 2, I can carry on from the character as I had them. I was even thinking of making the character look the same that I had them in the Xbox version for the PlayStation version. And then, because what I wanted to do was I wanted to, after having played Mass Effect 1 and having the character be a renegade, I wanted to roleplay the idea that Shepard in the second game would want to try and make people think that she's turned over a new leaf and actually play Paragon in the second game. But then, to continue the theme of role-playing like Shepard wants to troll people, in the third game, she reveals, of course, that she's actually a renegade. I wanted to do that kind of thing for the trilogy. I don't know how well the game story would accommodate that kind of approach for Mass Effect 2 and 3, but that was the idea anyway. I may not end up actually doing that, but we'll just have to wait and see. But most likely it'll be next year now that I do another Mass Effect game though. But I was so happy to be able to get it again. Like, I got it on Game Pass with Xbox, so I didn't have to pay anything extra, except for the membership to Game Pass. But after those issues happened with Xbox, I stopped getting Game Pass. And Mass Effect wasn't on PS Plus, so I was like, I'll just wait till it comes on sale and buy it for PS5, and boom. Sale happened, and very good price. Joe, you're to the point where you don't trust Ubisoft anymore. Too many disappointments. Mirage could have easily been a Valhalla DLC instead of an almost full price game. Yeah, I could definitely see the argument for it should have been a DLC instead. Because they still could have tried to make it different from Valhalla in the sense of like trying to improve the game engine. But as I said, because modders improved it even further, I have to question Ubisoft heads of whoever makes the choices, who ultimately has the say, why they insist on not pushing the game engine to the limits that it can actually go to. You know, that modders can make it go to. And it was only like 2 weeks after the game came out that modders were able to do that, so it's like, really? So I don't know. I mean, I like the game, I like the story and that, and given the fact that Ubisoft Bordeaux were obviously restricted to only using Valhalla's game engine to the extent that they were allowed to, they did an admirable job. But since the game engine can be pushed even further than that, and it was back when Unity came out, if they were able to do it to that extent, then that would have been even better. But we'll just have to wait and see the next game. But Assassin's Creed Red, which is the one set in Japan, 2 playable characters, open world RPG. They want to do 3 years worth of post-release content for it. Dialogue choice system like Odyssey. I wonder if that's going to be on a new game engine completely. Or not. Have to wait and see. Maxi, you see, that's awesome, dude. Yeah, I was so happy that I could get the game again. Secure it for a future playthrough. 120 AUD is a good price. You got it for 15 euros, must be around the same amount. Yeah, not sure about the conversion difference, but that definitely is a good amount to pay for that. Maxi, that sounds like a plan. Plan? Maxi, do you know a good channel point to implement for that game? Like you had Pick Spidey outfit for Spider-Man 2. Not sure what channel point to have for Mass Effect that doesn't impact story too much. You know, that's actually a good question. Oh, Maxi, I thought of something. like, let's say you wanted to have a channel point reward where when someone redeems it, it can be like when talking to a character, decide what approach. So like have, I don't know, maybe like the Renegade or the Paragon approach. But have it that you make a save before you actually redeem it for the person, or honor it, I should say. That way, if the person redeems a Renegade dialogue choice, then at least you don't have to stick with that for the rest of the playthrough. Like, make it clear that it's a channel point reward just to see what the outcome would be like if this was chosen. You know, maybe something along those lines where you can make a save before you actually do it, so that way, if it's against what you're actually afterward, you know. Yeah, so something like that, Maxi. That'd be interesting to have. Sheila, Unity is such a great game. You still hope they will get back to that point and work from there. Yeah, you know, it's not perfect, but the thing about that is you need to improve things by not taking out everything that actually makes up the series for what it is. You know, you can still improve things. Like, if there's improvements that need to be made to the climbing, you make them. You don't take moves out and be like, oh, if we take this move out, then people won't have to worry about the character trying to climb that way. It's like, no. Try to work out a way to improve how the character climbs. For example. That's no worries at all, Maxi. It's always interesting coming up with channel point rewards, because when I sort of come up with mine, I sort of think about, okay, what's the balance of what am I willing to actually take the time out of the playthrough to actually do? And based on that, is it something that I feel should be a low amount of points or a lot amount of points? So if there's like a channel point redeemed to do something that plays the game in a way that you're not actually really focused on, but you still want to show that, then you might decide to put it at a high points price, because it might be something that takes a bit of time out of the playthrough to do, you know, and all that kind of stuff. But then also there's like loopholes to try and plug as well. Like, I had the channel point rewards with you know, the Arnie impression and the Gollum impression and the thick Aussie accent, where people were like, they wouldn't put the text in the box that they wanted me to read. They would put a description of what they wanted me to read in the text box, as in, read me page 5 out of this book, for example. And it might be a book that is like a science book that has all these hard words to say. You know what I mean? Like, so I had to sort of like think of ways to stop those loopholes from happening. It is, Maxi, yeah, Paragon is the good option. I think from memory it appears with a blue mark or something next to it, maybe. Or maybe I'm mistaking the way it looks for something else, because they're actually points that you have to amass as well. So yeah, that might not actually work, come to think of it. Because yeah, to get Paragon points you need to make choices, I think from memory, that reflect that. Whereas for the other, you need to do choices that, you know, reflect the negative side. So yeah, that might not be a good sort of like channel point reward to have then, because it would require you to have some Paragon points up your sleeves if that's something that someone wants to see. But if you don't want to play that, then yeah, it might be different. But maybe thinking along the same lines, you could do maybe an action or something that is negative or positive in certain situations. So you could have a channel point reward where the person redeems it and it's like, you know, the next time you talk to a character, you know, choose the negative option or something. Ozjim, thanks for redeeming the random Assassin's Creed character quote. Okay, so I've got an Assassin's Creed character quote. Do not speak ill of your father, boy. If you become half the man he was, it will be a blessing. Blessing or curse, I am my own man. That's something rare for me, choosing a quote from Assassin's Creed Rogue. But that is from Assassin's Creed Rogue. That's when Shay Fuckface... Oh, sorry, that's when Haytham, is fighting Adewale. And Shay Fuckface kills Adewale. The piece of shit. That's one of the major reasons why I hate Rogue. Max, you only heard good things about the game. Don't know why you never played it. Yeah, I had heard a lot about it too over the time, and Shin, the Ninja Penguin, had, suggested, playing that in the future at some point, and I finally got to the point where I was like, you know what? I'm going to try it out. It's on Game Pass, If I don't end up liking it, then, I don't have to do 2 and 3. But I ended up really liking it a lot, so I was like, yep, I want to do 2 and 3 in the future. That's right, Ozjim, yeah, the colours for Paragon is blue, and for Renegade it's red. Good morning, Lizzie. How's things going? That's why I didn't recognise it. Yeah. Yeah, I was scrolling through the website I go to, and I stopped it on where it was, and I was like, well, it's a Rogue quote, but it's still an Assassin's Creed character quote. Yeah, Max, exactly. Shay Fuckface. Piece of shit who gets to live till an old age. You can't even be bothered to platinum Rogue Remastered. That's fair. Like, have you done the original version? Let's have a look around and see if there's any kinds of interactions with NPCs I haven't actually seen yet. Harbinger, Ubisoft game quote, not AC quote. Maxi, you had Rogue on PC, so you didn't worry about 100%ing it. You never had it on PS3. Oh, I got you, dude. Yeah, so you had it on PC. Yeah. Yeah, it was, the original version that I played was the Xbox version of Rogue.
Es de tradiciones antiguas y honorables, pero sabe manejarse en el mundo moderno.
Sigo muy pendiente de mi salud. ¡Qué bruto! ¿Cómo se atreve a venirme con ese alfanje?
No tengo ni la más remota idea acerca de su intención, salvo que sea meramente económica.
No me agrada salir, pero moriré de hambre si no parto de tanto en tanto.
Lo apremiante de tu situación me provoca no poca congoja. Sin embargo, a pesar de tus recelos, he de recomendarte al capitán.
Lo haría de buen grado. Son como de la familia, ¿no lo sabías?
Entonces debes partir sin demora, allá donde impere la confianza.
He visto a unos
Maxi, have you played it just once, or did you replay it? Just the once, dude. Yeah, playing it from start to finish once, and suffering through the story was just like, ugh. Don't want to do that ever again. I don't mind, you know, watching people stream it when they're streaming it, but it just gives me an opportunity to lament how much I hate the story. But without actually having to play it myself again. Jimmy liked Rogue. It gave a different side of the Assassins. In some ways, I would say it did give a different side, but I would say as well that they wrote the Assassins to be like the Templars have been written, and they wrote the Templars to be like the Assassins have been written. It doesn't have the nuance that something like Unity has, with its portrayal of the Assassins versus the Templars, and how even the Assassins do have elements which can decide to do things which go against the overall creed itself. Just like the Templars have people who can go against what the head of the Templars wants to do. And shows that sort of thing. And you have a Grand Templar master who instead of letting Arno just live on the streets of Paris and potentially die, he decides to take him in, knowing full well that his father was an assassin. You know. So I would argue that Unity does a better job at portraying the Assassins in a different perspective as well. Because you have Belek, who is like, I don't agree with Mirabeau, but instead of going through the proper channels, I'm just going to kill him. Therefore compromising everyone else in the Assassins by doing so. You know. So I always point to Unity as a better story than Rogue, because Rogue's story is lazily written, and the way that it conveys what it wants to convey is idiot plot. Character only does this because they don't stop to consider that maybe things aren't the way that they just assume it is. And that's more something that the writers do than the characters. But it's canon, so I need to accept that whatever bullshit has been written has to be accepted. But it doesn't mean I have to like it, though. Lizzie, good. Speaking of Rogue, you still need to beat it. You don't know how you feel about the story thus far. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a game that I'd say, if people are curious about it, definitely play it. But yeah, it's the only game in the series that I've never replayed ever again. Yeah, it was Jim. Yeah. Ultimately, though, I think Rogue should have been a game where you played as Hatham for the whole game. Or, what it should have been is Achilles rescues an orphan from the streets and takes them in. And I know that's taking a bit from Unity, but the parallel would be that you have someone being taken in by the Assassins. Later on, they actually become a Templar secretly to both the Assassins and the player. So you won't know that they've already switched to the Templars until you get a mission where you have to kill Achilles' wife and son. And that is when you as the player realize, oh shit, this character that Achilles brought in when they were just a child and raised them alongside, you know, their own son. Or, not, sorry, that wouldn't work out because the differences in the ages would be not right for the timeline. But in any case, you'd have a character that grew up becoming an assassin and betrays the trust of Achilles and kills Achilles' wife and son. And then the rest of the game is you as the assassin who has now fully revealed themselves to be a Templar. Is, you know, going around finishing off the assassins. Because the thing about Rogue is that it completely throws under the bus Achilles' wife and son. It mentions them, but it doesn't actually cover them in great detail, which is a big missed opportunity. So in the idea I'm talking about for Rogue, that would be a prominent part of the story. And then, because of the damage that assassin turned Templar had actually done, that's why Achilles isn't so ready to take on another recruit when Connor shows up years later. Or Radun Gahedun. And give a reason why Achilles can't bear to look at the photo of his wife and son. Because it just reminds him too much of them and them being killed. And I think, going along with my idea that I'm talking about, to make it even more fucked up, actually have Achilles witness this character who he has known since the character was an orphan actually kill his wife and son in front of him. And I feel that that would better match the Achilles that we meet in AC3, who's defeated and broken, and also doesn't trust easily. And so when Connor turns up and is like, hey, we would see in that game instead that that's the reason why, you know. Like, have the end of this game I'm talking about that doesn't exist, have the end be you as Achilles hearing the knocking on your door, you know, or something a bit earlier. I don't know, something like that. But yeah, I feel that Achilles' wife and son should have been the prominent focus of why he ends up becoming a bit of a recluse all those years later, and not being fully trusting of new people, especially who want to be trained to be an assassin, because he once trained someone to be an assassin and they ended up killing his wife and son in front of his eyes. Oh, Jim, is there an AC game coming out set in Japan? It is, yeah. It's by the people who did Odyssey, so it would be a 500-hour open-world RPG dialogue choice. You play as two different characters, a shinobi and a samurai, and most likely it'll be they want to do 3 years worth of post-game content for it, and I'm just like, whatever. That'll be like 2027 or 2028 by that point. Alright, so I've almost been streaming for an hour and a half. Just want to check any database entries that might have popped up as I was running around. And there hasn't been. Cool. Alright. Need to have a look at another spot in the city to go. Go this way. Oh, Jim, that far ahead. As in, like, the content. Like, it'll probably come out next year, maybe. The Japan set game. And then they'll want 3 years of post-release content after that. Hey there, Ronnie. How's things, dude? Malun. Edward. I wanted you to grab the angle of the building on the handhold. Running up a little early, you're going to check emails and stuff and maybe try to sleep a little more. That's understandable too, if it's still really, really early for you. I hope you had a good sleep. Just doing a short stream, so I'll probably end in another half hour, I think. But next weekend, it'll be back to Saturdays and Sundays for Assassin's Creed streams. Oh really, dude? So it's 5:30 AM where you are. It's definitely early then. It's 11:28 PM where I am.
Malus Muriam, Rabat Peccatum, Inciperes, sed statinam profundissimum frenum, quod subterfugium et umbra, dicamus et per adulatio euron fluontim, capilorum miran, saturata ventres fluctus ab cardiocos, cloaca, vise genteuron, ut pulices infestan vestris genitalibus, et ibe manete, e proicies ingens pars pro omnibus suis parum amisits, locutusque, et gesum errate omnia Deus, agat indicabit, e indupanar nocte ilia. Malum, malus siniuriam, rapa et
Ronnie,
peccatum.
so you have 4 back tonight, so 24 hours from now it'll be 4:30. Ah yes, when time changes, when you have to adjust to that. Okay, so we haven't actually looked at a beggar NPC yet.
Vise genteuron, ut pulices infestan vestris genitalibus, et ibe manete, e proicies ingens pars pro omnibus suis parum amicis, locutusque, et gesum errate omnia Deus, agat indicabit, e indupanar nocte ilia. Malum,
Música para aliviar vuestros problemas a cambio de unas monedas.
sed statinam profundissimum frenum,
2,6,
quod
la pareja de
subterfugium et
doradas.
umbra,
Menudillos
Damus
y
et
carne
adulatio
para
eurum
guisos,
fluontim,
apenique la libra.
capilorum miran, saturata ventres fluctus ab cardiocos, cloaca, vise genteuron, ut pulices infestan vestris genitalibus, et ibe manete,
¿Me has oído?
ingens pars pro omnibus suis parum
Para comerlo más fresco tendrían que ir a nadar.
La última advertencia que oirás.
Osjim, in AC2 you find all those statues of the assassins in Mario's Villa. It would be good to play as some of them, you think? Yeah. That's another thing. The statues. Because Ezio's great-grandfather, I think, was the one who actually built them. And that makes me think that it's very easy for them to explain away why statues were made of people who actually weren't assassins in terms of like part of the assassins group, because the assassins group didn't exist back then. Simply being honoring what they had done, because what they had done was kill a tyrant, and that's one of the things that Assassin's Creed's that's one of the things that assassins like to do, is assassinate tyrants. So I could see Ezio's great-grandfather being like, you know what? They may not have been actual assassins, part of our order back then, because our order didn't exist back then. But they did a great deed for the free will of society. So let's honor them by making them an honorary assassin centuries after their death. And boom. Explanation as to why there's statues of characters that weren't actually part of the assassins, because the assassins hadn't been created until Bayek's time period, which is centuries after Darius and Iltani, who was another one of the people who was given a statue, but the assassins as an order didn't exist when they were alive. The only thing is, I don't know how to explain why in the crypts there's actually bodies. Because why would Ezio's grandfather go to the trouble of putting bodies in the crypts? Because how did he find their bodies? Like, you know. Or maybe he was just like, hey, need to fill them with something. May as well fill them with, you know, this. But yeah, it's one of those things that can be smoothed over, but it just hasn't been. Like, all they need to do is do a short animated movie about Ezio's great-grandfather coming up with the idea to actually create statues and have him travel the world finding out about, you know, various deeds that people had done, and finding out that Darius was the one who used the hidden blade first, and be like, cool, our order didn't exist when he was alive, but let's honor him and consider him part of the assassins after his death. That's all they need to do. Some kind of story that just confirms the reasoning behind why these statues exist of characters that weren't actually assassins, because assassins didn't exist when they were alive. But the thing is, if you look at it logically, yes, they did assassinate people. But let's try and use a different analogy. Let's say that instead of being an assassin who assassinated people, they were a plumber. And you had two different plumbing companies that were against each other. A plumber from one company and a plumber from the other company are still plumbers, but you would not say that they're both part of the same company. So therefore, just because you had one person assassinating someone doesn't automatically mean that they're actually part of the assassin order. It just means that their occupation was assassinating people. And the company that is actually the assassin order was like, hey, we like the work that this person did in assassinating people, so how about we make them an honorary assassin of our order? Ronnie, because it looks cool. That's another good point. That's another good reason for it. That villa still stands today. Yeah, it's really cool when you have landmarks that are actually real, that have still stood the test of time into modern times.
Caramba, ya había en ese té. ¿Pero qué? Otro borrachuzo. Caramba, ya había en ese té. Oh, ¿pero qué? ¿Está bien? ¿Qué tipo tan extraño?
There we go. Got the reactions from the NPC doing that type of activity. Ronnie, you haven't finished Mirage yet. You've got Spider-Man 2 and have only played that since. Yeah. Well, that's the best thing to do. You know, go with what game out of the two you're really being drawn to. And, you know, stick with that. Or, you know, stick with that however long you feel. And then if you feel like jumping to the other game, then, you know, do that. That was the thing when I started being able to have more than one game. You know, being a child, obviously, I wasn't earning money to go and buy stuff. Like, when I was 5 years old, I wasn't earning pocket money or anything, and then went to the shop myself and bought a video game. But having multiple games to just jump back and forth between was really good. The first time I was able to, when I was a kid. It's like, oh cool, if I don't feel like playing this game, I can just play this other one until I don't feel like playing it again, and then just jump back to the other one. Ronnie, she said, but what? Are you good? Ah, thanks for the translation. Thank you so much. Hey there, Senny. Good day to you, dude. My weekend is going really well. It's almost Sunday. And things are going good. How about yourself?
Si es el mismísimo vicealmirante de los 7 mares, dentro de poco se quedará dormido y se me hará encima. Todo un campeón con las botas. ¿Te crees lo que dice? Y lo único que hace es darle a la sardina. Vamos, canalla. Coge a tu prostituta y vete a otra parte. Maldito borracho. Vamos, canalla. Coge a tu prostituta y vete a otra parte. Maldito borracho.
Oh, Jim, you don't have a PlayStation, so you never played Spider-Man. That's understandable. I was the same for a while. I mean, I haven't played Spider-Man yet, but in terms of like not having a PlayStation to play those games on. Oh, that's great, Crooked. I'm glad to hear that you're going good, Senny. You're currently watching your team play. They're 3-1 ahead with 15 minutes left. So here's hoping they take the win home. That'd be so cool if they do, dude. It's always good to see any teams that you're supporting end up being able to win. So here's hoping that they can maintain that lead, or even increase it even further as well. Ronnie, you're hosting a Halloween party tonight, so you will have about 20 people. You'll be pretending to be a dragon. Oh, that's so cool. That's excellent, dude. That's a great idea as well. Now we just need to find a game where you actually play as a dragon, so you can wear whatever you're wearing on your head as a dragon while streaming it. Ronnie, he called the other guy a drunk borracho. Borracho. Okay, so we've seen someone hammer things before and paint, but here's someone sawing. Ronnie's that guy's zombie. What's with the moaning? It's his snoring. I like how he's like when snoring. That kind of thing.
Si las notas te agradan, ¿podrías darme algo?
Ronnie, you're not thinking of the voice actor in the booth on Little Pass like that? You want me to do what? It's like, make this sound. Or make this sound. Would have been so cool if actor Michael Winslow was actually a Twitch streamer, because he's able to do pretty much any sound effect with his voice. There's an example of one 10 years ago on Jimmy Fallon. Oh yeah, dude, absolutely, Ronnie. His work in the Police Academy movies is the stuff of legend. Bum bum ba-dum bum bum ba-da-da-dum ba-da-da-da-dum ba-dum ba-da-dum bum ba-da-dum bum. I haven't seen one of those for a long time. Mahoney!
Solo ha probado un trago y ya está borracho. La ramera se encargará.
¿Qué puedo hacer por ti?
Solo ha probado un trago y ya está borracho. La ramera se encargará. Todo un campeón.
Ronnie, Police Academy 4, Citizens on Patrol seemed so cool when you were a kid. Yeah, that was so funny. That was the one that introduced... What was the name of the character? Bobcat Goldthwait, I think, is the actor's name. But I can't remember the character's name that he played in that. Because in one of the movies, he started off as a villain, and then in the next movie after that, he actually became a police officer. That's right, yeah, Ronnie. Yeah, David Spade was in Police Academy 4.
God must be playing a great big joke on me. What did I even do to deserve this? As if I'd never had anything. What did I even do to deserve this? God must be playing a great big joke on me. What did I even do to deserve this? As if I'd never had anything.
Apenas si podemos ganarnos la vida. No tenemos clientela para todo lo que pescamos. Nadie tiene dinero. Los malditos usureros se lo exprimen todo.
As if I'd never had anything but rotten luck. What did I ever do to deserve this? God must be playing a great big joke on me. What did I ever do to deserve this? As if I'd ever had anything but rotten luck. God must be playing a great big joke on me. What did I ever...
So yeah, that's one of the other things I wanted to do was get any dialogue from NPCs. Okay, so we've had some updates to the database entries. Shanty's dead horse. A poor old man came riding by, and we say so, and we know so. Oh, a poor old man came riding by, oh, poor old man. Says I, old man, your horse will die, and we say so, and we know so. And if he dies, we'll tan his hide, oh, poor old man. And if he don't, I'll ride him again, and we say so, and we say so. And I'll ride him till the Lord knows when, oh, poor old man. He's dead as a nail in the lamp room door, and we say so, and we know so. And he won't come worrying us no more, oh, poor old man. We'll use the hair of his tail to sew our sails, and we say so, and we know so. And the iron of his shoes to make deck nails, oh, poor old man. Drop him down with a long, long rope, and we say so, and we hope so, where the sharks have his body and the devil takes his soul, oh, poor old man. There we go. That's as close as me singing these as you'll get. Ronnie. So Bobcat played the part of Zed. That's right. Zed. That song took a turn for the worse for that poor old man. It really did. Yeah, it started off one way and then just ended a completely different way. Landmarks in Havana and let's see, Assassin's Bureau. Locations. Oh, hang on, this was landmarks, not locations. Landmarks, Havana, Assassin's Bureau. Haven't read this entry yet. Assassin's Bureau. Assassins use these nondescript locations as a place to regroup and prepare for the next mission. Since it's nighttime in the game, what I want to actually do is just have a little bit of a view of the night sky and the stars near the water.
Loco como una cabra.
It's so funny because there's kissing sound effects, but the NPCs aren't actually kissing each other. She pushed him as they're walking. And now they go their separate ways.
La ramera se encargará. Vamos, canalla. Coge a tu prostituta y vete a otra parte. Maldito borracho. Todo un campeón con las mozas, si te crees lo que dice. Y lo único que hace es darle a la sardina. Solo ha probado un trago y ya está borracho. Bah, la ramera se encargará. Solo ha probado un trago y ya está borracho. Bah, la ramera se encargará. Vamos, canalla. Coge a tu prostituta y vete a otra parte. Maldito borracho.
Todo lo que pueda necesitar en un solo puesto para su comodidad.
Oh, encantador. Impresionante.
Sí, eso es. Sería maravilloso compartir.
Oh, encantador. Impresionante.
Sí, eso es.
Hace buen día.
Niño tonto, ¿por eso tus manos son tan insensibles? ¡Qué pena!
Hasta cualquier cosa nos creen responsables.
Vaya, muy bien. Mi padre es el que pilló a Jack Shepard hace un montón de años. La quinta vez, pero escapó de Newgate poco después. No solo eso, sino que encima son feos.
Fue un desperdicio de licor. Se veía claramente que ya no se podía limpiar la herida. Tendría que habérselo dado a beber y cortar desde el principio.
Si pasa cualquier cosa, nos creen
Ahora mismo
responsables.
estaba pensando en...
No, nada de logística todavía. Tendremos que seguir un tiempo con mantas mohosas y raciones pesadas. Hugh solo estaba allí de guardia.
Oye, pues tienes muy
No
buen
hacía daño a
aspecto.
nadie.
Hi, mate. Consider us.
¿Ocurre algo, buen señor?
Hang on. Let's get going. Hold. Let's go. Whoa. Fall in. Hold tight. On me. Stay here. This way. Wait. Follow my lead. Stay put. All right, this way. Hold. Stay close. Let's get going.
¿Cómo te va, amigo? La India. Ya estoy cansado de ir.
Keep them busy.
¡Macabro!
¡Dad!
amenaza! ¡Yo no tengo nada que ver!
¡Me marcho! ¡Basta! ¡No quiero estar implicado!
¡Dale una buena tunda! ¡Dale una paliza!
Hey, what you learn now, huh?
Por Dios, no.
Yo no. Esos soldados holgazanes nos echarían la culpa para salvar su trasero.
¡Mierda! ¡La han asesinado!
Parece tenso. ¿Alguna vez has tenido dos zorras en tu madriguera?
¿Qué ocurre? Estoy ocupado.
Bueno, eso depende del apoyo del muro exterior.
Hey, what you learn now, huh? Hey, what you learn now, huh?
Academy, I love you. I love you.
Bueno, supongo que sí. Pero el coste prohibitivo. Bueno, supongo que sí. Pero el coste prohibitivo.
Hey, what you learn now, huh?
La cantera más cercana está muy lejos.
No.
El retraso anulará el
Hey,
contrato.
what? Ay,
¿Cómo se apoyará?
Ronnie, you think you're going to play a bit this morning. You're thinking about going for the Templar armor. Ah, yeah. Doing the Templar hunts to get it. Cool. That's a good... Pardon me, that's a good idea.
Stay here. Bueno, supongo que sí.
Un tipo duro. Cálmese un poco.
Niño tonto. ¿Por eso tus manos son tan insensibles? ¡Qué pena!
Alright, so let's go investigate over this point. I think what I might do is another main story mission.
¿Has partido el seso, vacilampillo? Estuve allí y les disparé. ¿Y quién no?
Hasta puedo contarte cuentos.
Alright, we're going to need to go to this location anyway. Ronnie, gonna go. Have a great rest of your stream. I will leave a lurk. No worries at all, Ronnie. Thanks for stopping in, dude. And I hope you have a great start to your Black Flag stream. Good to see more of you playing through that game.
Soy una pequeña doncella española perdida. Me siento tan sola.
39 y 7, 8, 450.
The last main memory that we did was Edward and Bonnet going to a public house for some drinks, and Edward gets into a fight, and then they end up confiscating the sugar of Bonnet's. And this mission now, Edward's going to go back to deal with who he needs to deal with, and Bonnet asks to get his sugar back.
Sorry about the swift exit. Bit of a misunderstanding.
One heaped upon another.
Oh, Jesus. I'm sorry, mate. This is my doing. I'm only trying to keep these Spanish eyes off me.
Oh, it's no bother. Regrettably, the soldiers confiscated my sugar and your dispatches.
Damn! And where've they gone?
Haven't the foggiest idea, I'm afraid. I suspect those chaps might, but my Spanish is muy mal dad, so I'd rather not ask.
Shit! Alright, come on, let's follow them and recover my maps.
And my sugar?
What, in my drawers? We'll see what happens.
You don't mind me tagging along, do you?
Not if you keep quiet and stay out of sight.
¿Caballero de su categoría acompañarme al callejón más cercano?
Bonnet! I believe I'm getting the hang of this.
Quiet!
I fear they're onto us.
Hang back.
Ooh, perhaps we should split up to confuse them.
It's the best idea you've had today.
Barbulum hoc sucula vid ad mercatum, et dum vidi hic supalpo mulierum ubera tres, cae praedia eina quis calidis et uber.
Caulis nostra sunt loca dexinerum nestio. Obsecro auxilium medico, sed et fornicatione ove saveo, quam velin exponem.
Buenos dias, senores. You're late. Yes, sir. See, we are very sorry. Our captain delayed us.
Similiter Dei arrissus. Velomne vin.
Como compañía en caravanas. Si me lo pides así.
Captain Mendoza? Yes, sir. He's very excited to meet you. Only he must be present for a hanging, senor. Hanging? Oh, I love a good hanging. Yes, sir. Very nice. If we hear the bell, we may go, if you like.
Darle a la sardina. Ha perdido el seso.
I'd love to. Especially if Captain Mendoza's pulling the trap. The man owes me money for the slaves I sold him. Of course, sir. Captain Mendoza is happy to pay you. We have goods to sell, sugars and such. Excellent.
¡No escaparás!
No volveré a repetirlo.
The bell, senor. The hanging will be started soon. Well, let's not dilly-dally. Yes, sir. We go.
Solo estaba allí de guardia. En nombre de Dios, ¿qué está haciendo? Ha perdido el seso. Ha perdido.
Soy una pequeña
Una prisa. Bueno, aprendió algo como una de campo que de una alemana. Cualquiera sabe lo que hacía un alemán en las colonias por acá. Ellos, bonitos uniformes.
Me
ofrezco para reunirnos.
Almost there.
Me siento tan sola aquí. ¿Cómo podría?
This way. This way.
Sí, eso sí.
I wanted to stop and not keep on going to get that glitch, because I like to point out glitches for content.
The hanging will be started soon.
Well, let's not dilly-dally.
Yes, sir. We go.
En el nuevo asador, si no me equivoco.
Vaya.
Juan y Roberto asistieron. Buena técnica. Tú también puedes ir.
Almost there. This way. This way.
Quiero una copa.
¡Ya voy!
How long will this hanging take, man? I don't mean to hang about all day for the captain.
Quick as anything, sir. Captain Mendoza needs only to hang the man, then he will deliver your payment.
I don't want reales, mind. I want goods. Things I can sell. Tobacco, rum, sugar.
See. We have much fine sugar. Crates we took off a fat Englishman last night.
Englishman?
Por el delito de motín contra tu capitán, el
Sugar from
tribunal te
Barbados.
sentencia a
Very
morir
fine.
en la
We hold it
horca.
in the Castillo after the man started the fight last night. He ran, left his sugar behind. Very fine.
Well, that's a start. Shall I accompany him to the Castillo?
No, sir. Captain Mendoza will have it sent to you, I believe. You will see.
Good Lord. Is that big brute your Captain Mendoza?
No, sir. He is el tiburón. El tiburón, Governor Torres' man.
Sin embargo, todos nos han cerrado sus puertas. Con uno solo de nuestros agentes
De momento haré como que no ha ocurrido.
Incendios provocados y demás infamias.
Este negocio de extorsiones no existiría si la guardia no hiciese la vista gorda. De arriba abajo toda la jerarquía de gobierno está podrida de
Me rindo.
No veo nada. No trabajan más.
¿En serio? No. ¿De verdad? Cuenta más.
Si te gustan las cortinas, ¿por qué no compras la alfombra?
All yours.
Vamos, hombre. Hay poco trabajo. Te haré un descuento.
Aquí no se te ha perdido nada. No se va. Vuelve y pelea como un hombre. Me rindo, se ha esfumado. No te muevas.
Alameos, thank you so much for the follow.
Sorry about the sugar. I've only one pair of hands.
Oh, it's no great loss. I've got plenty of cargo here to make a profit on my trip.
Will you stay here long?
For a few weeks, yes. Then back to Barbados, to the tedium of domesticity.
Don't settle for tedium. Sail for Nassau. Live life as you see fit.
Haven't I heard that Nassau is crawling with pirates? Seems a very tawdry place.
Not tawdry, liberated.
Oh, God. That would be an adventure. But no, I'm a husband and a father. I have responsibilities. Life can't be all pleasure and distraction, Duncan.
Hey, our bonnet. The name's Edward, in truth. Duncan's only a handle.
Ah. Secret name for your secret meeting with the governor.
The governor, right. I think I've kept him waiting long enough.
Alright, so that's that memory done. Just want to see if any database entries were created. Okay, so there's another one for people. Let's see. Oh yeah, so El Tiburon. I'm not reading about characters in this playthrough, but I will be leaving that for the next phase, phase 6.
That man! He's a pirate! He's the pirate! I haven't done you any wrong, sir!
I'll do another main story mission as well. Since this is going to be a short stream anyway, I may as well progress the story a bit further.
pescado más fresco de la ciudad. Vengan si no se lo creen.
But I think after I do this memory, I'll call it a stream. The next stream of this will be next weekend. But by next weekend, I'll be going back to having Assassin's Creed streams on Saturdays and Sundays. Whereas, since we're still in October, for Horror Month, it means that I've put Assassin's Creed just as Saturdays. So tomorrow's stream will be Tomb Raider.
Buenos dias. Mr. Duncan Walpole of England to see the governor. I believe he is expecting me.
Sí, señor Walpole. Entre, por favor.
¿Ese es el hombre? ¿Cómo lo llamabas? ¿Asesino?
Sí, Duncan Walpole. Debería haber llegado hace muchos días.
No me gusta que los extranjeros se paseen por nuestra ciudad. No me fío de ellos.
Cállate. El gobernador tiene invitados. Todos franceses e ingleses.
Parece un hombre rudo. Le suponía un aspecto más respetable.
Lleva meses en alta mar. Sé indulgente con él.
Good morning, sir. Would I be correct in thinking you are Duncan Walpole?
I am indeed.
I thought as much. Woods Rogers. A pleasure.
The same.
I must say, my wife has a terrible eye for description.
I'm sorry?
My wife. You met her some years ago at the Percy's Masquerade Ball.
Ah, quite.
She called you devilishly handsome. Obviously a lie to stoke my jealousy. Julianne, our guest of honor has arrived, Mr. Duncan Walpole.
Ah. Julien Ducasse. I hope your conversion to our order is an honest one. I have no love for assassins, but even less for liars.
I have not come to disappoint.
Up for a bit of sport, Duncan? The old man isn't ready just yet.
You've got my 2 best pairs of matched pistols, Duncan, so handle them with care.
If I had 8, I'd treat each as my own son.
Pull off a few shots if you like. Get a feel for it.
I once fought beside a man who carried 9 on his person. They were a boon in battle, but hindered his ability to swim. Sadly.
Quite. A good kick, yes?
I long for the day where one firearm carries 4 bullets, and not the opposite.
I have a friend in England you may like to meet, Julian. James Puckle. He's working on something extraordinary.
Magnifique.
Thank you for the good luck, 19. Thank you so much. Just doing a short stream today. Going to be finishing after this memory, but it's been good. Going around and looking at NPCs, seeing the different activities that they're doing, listen to the dialogue that they have, and their reactions to things and all that kind of stuff. Plus reading some database entries that we've uncovered related to like environments and locations and things.
Duncan, where are your wrist blades? I've never seen an assassin so ill-equipped.
Ah, damaged sadly beyond all repair.
Uh-huh. Have your choice.
Where did you find all these?
I did not find them. I took them. These are souvenirs. 2 blades, as is the custom, oui?
Custom, aye.
Duncan, will you indulge us with a demonstration of your techniques?
Well,
You must. We put together a training course in anticipation of your arrival. It would be a shame to leave here without seeing you in action.
Yes, of course. Well, I mean, if there is time, I would gladly, show you what I know.
Here. You see? Situations well suited to your skills.
Have a go. A blade in a crowd is always the simplest. Nothing grandiose, just quick and clean.
Show us another technique.
Quite ingenious to use bales of hay for cover, don't you think? God, that's the spirit. Secrecy. The advantage of surprise cannot be overstated, isn't that so? Especially around a blind corner. God blind me, that's a clever trick.
Your aerial kills have a poetic beauty, despite their conspicuous quality. Would you show us? Magnifique. Is it also possible to deliver a killing blow at high speed? Mon Dieu, such a powerful strike!
Fascinating.
Hey, Alameos. Anyone who plays Assassin's Creed deserves an insta-follow. Well, thank you very much for doing that. This year will be the last year where I regularly play the series every week, but I still will do Assassin's Creed streams next year, though. I want to do my annual playthroughs still, and any anniversary playthroughs, but also any challenge ones I might feel like doing. And it's good to celebrate this game's 10th anniversary. Been enjoying doing multiple different kinds of playthroughs with different approaches in mind and things that I wanted to cover and stuff.
The assassins have trained you well, Duncan. You chose a perfect time to leave them behind.
At great risk, I imagine. Betraying the assassins is never good for one's health.
Well, neither is drinking liquor, but I am drawn to its dangers all the same. And what is your business here, sir? Are you an associate of the governor's, or a pending acquaintance like myself?
Guns, blades, cannons, grenados. Anything that may kill a man, I am happy to provide.
A smuggler of sorts.
And how is your wife these days, Captain Rogers? Is she, here, in Havana?
I trust she's well, but I wouldn't know. I've been in Madagascar some 14 months hunting pirates. It took some work to dislodge the criminals there, but we managed it. In future, I hope to use these same tactics throughout the West Indies.
And how did you deal with their kind?
Very simply. Most pirates are as ignorant as apes. I merely offered them a choice. Take a pardon and return to England penniless, but free men. Or be hanged by the neck until dead.
Oh. I imagine Nassau would be your next target.
Very astute, Duncan, indeed.
Best of luck with that.
Alameos, you took a break from Assassin's Creed since Feb the 5th, 2023. You were too much obsessed with recordings for YouTube and had many issues with glitches and bugs that were ruining it. Yeah, that's the thing, right? Like, all those sorts of glitches can really, really ruin a game and ruin the experience and all that kind of stuff. And, you know, there's some glitches that are a bit more tolerable, but then there's ones that are game-breaking too, which just, you know, cause so many problems.
Grandmaster Torres, Mr. Duncan Walpole has arrived.
See. You were expected 1 week ago.
Apologies, Governor. My ship was set upon by pirates. We were scuttled. I arrived only yesterday.
Unfortunate. Forgive my caution, but were you able to salvage from these pirates the items you promised me?
Yes, sir, I was.
Increíble. The assassins have more resources than I had imagined, but not nearly enough to deter us. It is a pleasure to meet you at last, Duncan. You are most welcome. Come, gentlemen. We have much to discuss. Convened at last, and in such continental company. England, France, Spain, citizens of sad and corrupted empires. But you are Templars now, the secret and true legislatures of the world. Please, hold out your hands. Mark and remember our purpose. To guide all wayward souls till they've reached the quiet road. To guide all wayward desire till impassioned hearts are cooled. To guide all wayward minds to safe and sober thought. By the Father of Understanding's light, let our work now begin. Decades ago, the Council entrusted me with the task of locating in these West Indies a forgotten place our precursors once called the Observatory. See here. Look upon these images and commit them to memory. They tell a very old and important story. For 2 decades now, I have endeavored to locate this observatory, a place rumored to contain a tool of incredible utility and power. It houses a kind of armillary sphere, if you like. A device that would grant us the power to locate and monitor every man and woman on Earth, whatever their location. Only imagine what it would mean to have such a power. With this device, there would be no secrets among men, no lies, no trickery. Only justice, pure justice. This is the Observatory's promise, and we must take it for our own.
Do we know its whereabouts?
We will soon. For in our custody is the one man who does, a man named Roberts, once called a sage.
It has been 45 years since anyone has seen a true sage. Can you be sure this one is authentic?
We are confident he is.
The assassins will come for him.
Indeed they will. But thanks to Duncan and the information he has delivered, the assassins won't be a problem for much longer. All will be made clear tomorrow, gentlemen, when you meet the sage for yourselves. Until then, let us drink. Let us find the observatory together. For with its power, kings will fall, clergy will cower, and the hearts and minds of the world will be ours.
LMAOS, it never saves. One glitch that made you hate so much was the save slot. One of AC3 DLC King Washington. That would be so ridiculous. Like, that's weird. Like, yeah, a glitch where on a certain save slot it doesn't actually save. Like, that's just ridiculous that something like that would happen. Hey there, Lucinda. Good morning. Welcome on in. Black Flag's going well. Just doing a couple of missions here before ending the stream. I went around and investigated some NPCs, see what they were doing, and what kind of conversations they were having, and get their reactions and stuff. And also read some database entries and things like that. So yeah, Black Flag's going well, still very early in the story, but the progression through the story is going to be a bit slow, considering what I'm doing. But it's going well. How can you play this right now when Alan Wake 2 is calling to you? Yeah, I've definitely been thinking about the game and what I've experienced in it so far, and thinking about the characters and, you know, some of the situations that have happened, and also comparing it to what I know from the first game, and, you know, thinking of the things that are different and how the story has been unfolding and stuff like that. Yeah, it's like, cheers, drinks. Harbinger, Detroit, become Alan Wake.
Rest well, Duncan. Tomorrow the treasure fleet arrives, and with it, your reward. After which we will discuss further schemes.
I look forward to it.
Excelente. Meet me down at the docks first thing tomorrow morning.
Governor Torres requests your presence at the docks near the Castillo. First thing tomorrow morning.
First thing tomorrow morning. Okay, before I end the stream, let's look at some database entries that popped up. Alright, so I'm not worried about characters entries, just looking to see if there's any, like, archetype entries. Nope. Alright, so landmarks, Havana. Okay, so Governor's Mansion. The Governor's Mansion housed the acting Spanish governor. In addition to prison facilities, a new Governor's Mansion was constructed across the square in 1791. Not reading the modern day comments. Governor's prisons. As colonial governments expanded their duties in the West Indies, they often operated in an ad hoc manner. As a result, the improvised use of fortifications as a governor's residence or as the town prison was not unusual. Okay, so this is the end of the stream. This was just going to be a short one. At the start of next stream, next Saturday, what I'm going to do is start off doing more of the story, because there's going to be some things that will actually come in handy being able to investigate and explore and do if I actually have the story progress further. But I just want to thank everyone for watching this stream. Dr. Ronnie, who was in here earlier, is also playing this game, and he's actually streaming it right now. So what I'm going to do is raid out to Dr. Ronnie. So we'll keep the Black Flag going with Dr. Ronnie's stream. The next stream that you'll see from me will be Tomb Raider: The Angel of Darkness. This weekend is the last weekend of October, which means next Friday it'll be Tomb Raider: The Angel of Darkness as well. And then next Saturday and Sunday will be Assassin's Creed Black Flag. That's it, Harbinger, indeed. Tomb Raider tomorrow. Yeah, Lucinda, it's good that you're able to come in today and say hi. Thank you so much. Would like to highly recommend people check out Crocodiles, who's playing through Assassin's Creed 2 without the HUD. He's also doing the other games in the series, the main entries as well, going all the way through to Assassin's Creed Mirage, doing the same challenge, no HUD. What he's also doing is he's restricting how many times he can look at a map in the game every hour. If an hour goes by and he hasn't looked at the map, he can bank that hour or that one look with others, so he can stack them across games if he wants. So he's got a few map looks actually banked up that he can take advantage of, so he's actually doing that. But also he's not allowed to fast travel in any of the games. So he's also doing that as a challenge. Unless, of course, the game forces you to as a tutorial thing. But yeah, that's the type of playthrough that he's doing for those games in the series. Lucinda is a big fan of Resident Evil, is playing through Resident Evil Village, has finished the main game, playing with a keyboard and mouse for the first time, has played the game multiple times with controller, but wanted to do a challenge with the game and playing it on keyboard and mouse. Oh, you did, Lucinda. You finished Shadows of the Rose in one sitting yesterday. Oh, cool. So Lucinda's finished Resident Evil's DLC Shadows of the Rose as well. So what's the next Resident Evil game that you'll be doing then, Lucinda? Is it Resident Evil 5 or... Nice, so a fast run of Resident Evil 5 on Monday and Tuesday. So Lucinda will be doing next for Resident Evil, a Resident Evil 5 fast run. And is also a fan of horror games like the Evil Within series, The Last of Us as well. Would also like to highly recommend people check out Maxi. He's been doing Marvel Spider-Man 2. He's also playing through Ghost of Tsushima, doing the highest difficulty, and playing with Kurosawa mode activated. He also most recently finished Assassin's Creed Mirage. And Schiller has been doing some South Park The Stick of Truth. He's also a fan of Assassin's Creed, also a fan of GTA, and also a fan of the Dark Pictures series. So highly recommend checking out all those streamers if you haven't before. We're going to go and raid Dr. Ronnie. Here's a general raid message. Here's a raid message with some free follower emotes. And here is a raid message for subscribers. And let's kick off the raid. To Dr. Ronnie for some more Black Flag. Lucinda, no worries at all for the shout out. Always more than happy to give you one. Thanks so much for popping in. That's okay, Brutus, for the stream. Absolutely no trouble at all. Definitely see you later. That's okay, Lizzie. No trouble at all for the stream either. Thank you all for watching. Really do appreciate it. If you see me streaming Tomb Raider, then you know it's become Sunday. And on Monday, I'll be jumping back into Alan Wake 2. And then next Friday will be Tomb Raider, The Angel of Darkness again. And then next Saturday and Sunday will be Assassin's Creed Black Flag again. I don't know yet what I'm actually going to do after Alan Wake 2 is finished, but I'll think about that and then decide at a later point. But thanks again, everyone, for watching. Hope you all have a good one and catch you next time.